What if beating bosses wasn't about what you bring to the fight, but how bare bones you can go and still succeed? This is the Downgrade, a series where I start geared to the teeth, then drop the crutches and keep the kills coming. No max gear, no excuses. Proving it's not the gear, it's the player. Vorkath waits in the frozen shadows of Ungale, a failed weapon abandoned by its master and buried beneath time and ice. But failure breeds fury. Now, he guards these ruins with a barrage of fire, venom, and necromancy, a trial of precision and pressure. Most players enter this fight over-prepared, layered in defenses, armed with power, and relying on every advantage. But that's not what we're doing here. Today, we face Vorkath at full power. Then, layer by layer, I'll strip away the gear, the defenses, and the strength. No high-end equipment, no safety, and no margin for error. Let's find out just how far we can fall and still survive the storm. What's going on, guys? It's Vince, and welcome to the Downgrade episode 2, where we're going to be taking on Vorkath. Before we jump into the fight, the mechanics, etc., I wanted to just say thank you for the outstanding support that you guys gave me on episode 1, which was for Dorvis. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll link it in the description. But it was very well received, and I did not expect to get the viewership and the support that I got. So I wanted to give a big thank you for that. This episode, if you didn't see already by the intro and everything else, we're going to be killing Vorkath. So got a ton of great suggestions from you guys on different editing styles and different ideas to put into the video. So we're going to start off with DPS, but we're going to go into a couple other things as well. So looking at it straight up, we can hit a max hit of a 66. Our DPS is 10.49 with an average time to kill of 73 seconds, which equates to 1 minute and 13 seconds with a 76% accuracy. We're going to take a look at our gear. So basically, Vorkath is weak to stab, so we're going to be rocking full oath plate, basically the best in slot melee you have. I prefer to kill it with melee. Other people may prefer ranged, which we'll get into a little bit as well. The only exception to your gear is going to be the salve amulet, the best version of it that you have. It's actually going to be better than using your Slayer helmet if you're on a Blue Dragon's task. So no need to bring a Slayer helmet, just bring your salve amulet and you're good. So I have a Dragon Hunter Lance as well, which is going to be best in slot here for melee, and then my just best in slot melee gear. So obviously we kill it with our best in slot gear first, and then we downgrade it, which is the whole point of the series. So I also had a suggestion of seeing what the price check was on the gear. So with my best in slot armor, I'm looking at 546 mil to kill Vorkath pretty efficiently, I'd say. It's going to be pretty good. But yeah, I also am going to get rid of the DPS, but I'm going to leave the DPS like chart, but I'm going to leave the DPS and the average time to kill at the top left there for you guys during the fight. So feel free to reference that as well. So again, I'm going to leave the DPS and the average time to kill up on screen. And I actually need to set up my quick prayers. So I'm going to set Protect from Magic and Piety. And we're going to get this kill started. So I'm going to eat an anglerfish. I will spec them off the top. And other than that, we're going to get this kill started for episode 2. I'll also explain the mechanics as I go. So right there, it was the purple dragon fire. So I had to click my my prayers back on. I used the quick prayers at the top. There's the ranged attack. Didn't hit us. There's a magic attack. There's the regular dragon fire attack. There's that white one, which is going to be the crumble undead. So use your crumble undead spell on the zombified spawn and you'll be good. You're going to die or take a lot of damage if it touches you. So there's the fireball. I'm just going to walk 2 tiles, nothing to worry about. And basically just stay on the boss. So there's the purple again. Deactivated my prayer. I'm just going to put it back on with the quick prayers and stay on the boss. There's your acid phase. I'm going to do something a little bit crazy here. Not crazy, but the higher level players know what I'm doing here. It's the Wook's Walk here, where you can actually attack him while you're dealing with this. I'm not doing a great job at it, but you just want to stay in motion during that phase. You don't have to attack the boss like I did. There you see the melee attack. Only did a 10 on me. Nothing to worry about. I'm gonna drink a little bit of prayer here too. Oh, I guess I forgot to use my divine super combat, so no worries though. Prayer turned off. Gonna turn that back on. He's gonna spawn another zombified spawn. We're gonna take that down nice and easy and stay on the boss. Dodge the fireball. I'll bring my prayer up a little bit. I'm gonna combo eat just because I was a little bit low. Turn my prayer back on. He's gonna use the venom attack again. Again, you can just walk this phase out. This is a little bit of a higher level mechanic where you can attack the boss while you're walking to increase your time to kill and your DPS. But as you see, there's the first kill down, and didn't take much. Took us 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so a little bit slower than what the average time to kill stated, but we also didn't use our divine super combat until about halfway through. This fight's also pretty nice because he won't just respawn. You can just kind of chill here, go grab a drink, do whatever, and then go back, poke him, and start another kill. But that's about it for the mechanics of the kill and the first kill in best in slot armor, or near best in slot armor. So let me downgrade my gear real quick, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, back for kill number 2. We've downgraded 4 pieces of our armor. I tried picking slots that were pretty expensive. So, for example, we had an Ultor ring, which I didn't even realize was 154 mil, which for most people, if you're not endgame, is pretty steep for an upgrade ring. So we've chosen to downgrade that to the Berserker ring. Our Oathplate chest and legs we've substituted for our Bandos chestplate and Bandos tassets, which are way more affordable. And our Serpentine helm, which helped us in the fight actually with the Venom, has been downgraded to the Helm of Neitziznat. So very, very early helmet that you can get. Not too bad at all. So let's do a price check. Our starting gear was worth 546 mil, which is pretty steep for most players, especially just to kill Vorkath. So we've downgraded that pretty significantly, I would say less than half at 208 mil. So a lot more doable, a lot more affordable, but it's definitely going to get easier than that and more affordable than that. So that's our price check on our gear. Let's take a look at the DPS. Looks like our max hit went down from a 66 to a 61. Our DPS went down not too bad. It was 10.49 and now it's a 9.7. And this I actually found the most interesting out of all of it was our average time to kill only went up by 6 seconds. It was 73 seconds and now it's 79. So you see, even with the significantly worse gear, I mean, I don't have anything crazy on. I know it's worth 208 mil, but it's nothing crazy compared to what we started with. The main thing that you're going to want is that Dragon Hunter Lance. So I know that's a little bit more steep at like 60-70 mil, but if you have that and some other decent strength gear, I mean, you definitely can take this boss down. So I am going to get this started here, and we'll visit just how quick it was to kill, because I mean, that kill time, as you see, it only went down by 6 seconds, which really shouldn't affect this fight too much. So instead of fading to black, I'm going to speed this up for you guys, and I'll see you at the end of the kill. Alright, and there's the kill. Pretty quick, actually. We actually got Speed Chaser. That's actually insane. We just got the we got a new PB. That was only a minute and 15. So we hit really hard there. Um, as you see, I mean, our first kill, even though we weren't potted, was 219. So yeah, 219, and we just hit a 115 with pretty significantly worse gear. I mean, again, this is only 208 mil worth of gear. And nothing crazy. I mean, I have a Helm of Natiznat in my hand, for crying out loud. So 115 new PB. I mean, you can't complain. That was over half, or almost half the time of the kill with the Oath Plate. So even something like Speed Chaser is definitely doable with this gear. So I think this time I'm going to go after some of the other high-end gear, like my boots, my gloves, and my weapon. And I'll see you back here. So give me 1 second, and I'll downgrade the gear for you guys. All right, we're back for kill number 3. I actually downgraded 5 slots this time instead of just the 3 that I had planned, because the damage change was so marginal that it just didn't even matter. I just didn't even want to do a kill with Bando still. So the big change here is going to be the weapon. Instead of the Dragon Hunter Lance, we have the Noxious Halberd, which is it's the last item actually on the recommended strategies page for Vorkath. I did want to give an honorable mention to the Osmumten's Fang. It's a 20 mil stab weapon that is second best for Vorkath to the Dragon Hunter Lance. So for the sake of the video, I didn't want to use the Fang just because it was just that good here for way cheaper. I think the Dragon Hunter Lance is around like 65 mil, 65, 70 mil. So to go from 65 mil down to 20 and it really not be that big of a difference. If you're on a budget, definitely use the Fang here. But for the sake of the video, we're going to be using the Noxious Halberd. So we've also downgraded our Ferocious Gloves to our Barrows Gloves, the Primordial Boots to Dragon Boots, and then we downgraded our Bandos to a Fighter Torso and Dragon Plate Legs. So let's take a look at the cost. So if you don't remember, the last gear check was 208 mil. We've now downgraded down to 132 mil. So it's actually not too bad in terms of budget. If you can afford gear similar to this, you can definitely do this. And on top of that, if you use a Fang, you're going to be knocking this down another like 20 mil. So you're looking at like 110 mil for a decent Vorkath setup. So next, let's look at the DPS. It looks like our max hit, it actually went up because the Noxious Halberd attacks a little bit slower. So it's going to be a harder hitting weapon. So it went up from a 61 to a 69. The DPS, however, did go down from a 9.7 to a 7.49. And the average time to kill, of course, went up. It was 79 seconds. Now it's 103 seconds. So about 24 seconds added. It should take me about a minute and 43 to kill this. So nothing crazy like before. I'm going to leave the DPS and the average time to kill up on the screen, and I'm going to get the fight started. I did also want to mention, if you use a Noxious Halberd on this fight, you can stand back a tile. That way he won't melee you. So something to consider if you are using a Halberd or the like, where you can stand a tile away. He won't melee you from here, so you can protect from all the magic attacks. And you'll only have to deal with the range attacks. So I'm going to speed this kill up, and we're going to see what time we get at the end. I will be right back. Alright, and we're finishing up the kill here. The attack speed of the Halberd's really screwing up the Luke's walk here. But otherwise, I mean, this kill's been pretty alright. I've been getting hit pretty hard with the range attacks, but you see, I have food left over still. It really wasn't bad. It took a little bit longer, I think, just because of the amount of food I was eating. Or maybe we just weren't hitting. But instead of a minute and 45 like the chart said, we killed it in 2:41. So definitely nothing crazy, but definitely doable as well. I mean, if you're looking to get kills on Vorkath and maybe farm up some gold so you can afford that better gear, I mean, it's definitely doable. Throw on a Fang instead, just because it's cheaper, and get yourself some kills. So let's take this to the next level and really downgrade our gear and see if we can push the limit to this boss. Alright guys, we're back for kill number 4 in pretty scuffed gear. It's definitely doable. We'll be able to get the kill here, but it's definitely not the most beginner friendly, even if you can get the kill. So we've downgraded our fighter torso and our dragon plate legs for a rune plate body and rune plate legs. Our noxious halberd, which honestly did a lot better than I expected. We've downgraded to a dragon sword with a rune defender. I thought the dragon sword would just be kind of a goofy stab weapon that we can use. Obviously, I don't think you see it used much here at all. But it's like a 100k weapon. I thought it would just be fun. But yeah, our infernal cape is now a fire cape. Our salve is an amulet of glory. And lastly, our helm of Natiznot is a rune full helm. So our last gear check, I want to say, was around 128 mil. So looking at this gear check, we're at 5.4 mil. So definitely a big step down. It's definitely a lot more affordable if you're just getting into it. And you can definitely do it with this gear. I don't suggest grinding out kills for money with this gear because you're going to be eating a lot and it's just not great. But you can definitely get a couple kills if you need to. Or if you're an Iron Man and you want to go for like the backpack, if you have better, you're probably going to have better gear than this. So it's definitely doable. So let's take a look at the DPS. So if you'll recall, the last time we had 69 as our max hit, which has gone down to a 39. So a big jump down from there. Our DPS was a 7.49. Now we're sitting at a 5.0. So not horrible, but it went down by about a third. And then our average time to kill went up by about 50 seconds. It was 103 seconds, and now it is down to 152. So I'm going to leave the DPS and the average time to kill on screen as normal. Oh, and then I also thought instead of a Void Waker, I would bring a Dragon Dagger as the spec weapon just for shits and giggles. So I'm going to use my Super Combat, my Super Anti-Fire, and my Anti-Venom, and we're going to start the fight. Hopefully the time won't be too bad. Again, it should be just, my guess is maybe like 3 minutes. So I'll see you guys in a couple minutes, and we'll see what the time is. Alright, we're getting to the end of the kill here. Just 1 or 2 more hits, and we'll have defeated Vorkath with a dragon sword. There it is. So, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It did take 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So compared to the average time to kill, it was about 1 minute and 20 longer than that. Probably just because of the eating, but as you see, I mean, we used 2 sharks, 2 Krombons, and a prayer pot, which, for what it's worth, actually isn't that bad. I mean, it's not going to be the most fun kill that you've ever had, but like as long as you have a decent stab weapon, and like when I say decent, I mean like dragon sword decent, rune sword decent, and just some melee gear and a little bit of food, you definitely can do it kill here. It's really not that bad. It's when your DPS drops very low that the kills are going to start taking a lot longer. A lot longer, and you're going to start getting hit more, and you're just not going to have the inventory for it. So as you see, even just with like full rune, a fire cape, some dragon boots, and a glory amulet with a dragon sword, I still took down Vorkath in 3 minutes and 50 seconds, which overall is not that bad. So let's see how much worse we can make this and see when it actually starts becoming a challenge. Guys, we're back. Kill number 5. It's going to be pretty rough this time around. Definitely don't suggest doing this if you're on a budget. But for the sake of the video, we're going to be killing Vorkath with a rune longsword. I really don't think this is going to be great. Um, but it definitely could be worse. So we've downgraded our rune to adamant. So now we're rocking the adamant full helm, adamant plate body, and adamant legs. Our dragon boots are now climbing boots, and our dragon sword is now a rune longsword. So last time the budget was, I think, 5.4 mil around there. So compared to now, we didn't actually go down that much in price. We're sitting at 4.9 mil. I think largely just because of the Berserker ring. So I'll go over a budget friendly guide at the end, but yeah, we're definitely looking pretty rough here. Yeah, 4.9 mil price guide. Let's take a look at the DPS. So if you'll recall, before our max hit was 39, and that's downgraded to a 34. The DPS was 5.0, and that's gone down to a 2.9. The average time to kill was 152 seconds, and we've added about another 100 seconds to 255 seconds. So that should be a little over 4 minutes. My guess is it's going to take around 5 minutes to kill. So definitely doable. I'm going to leave, like always, the DPS and the time to kill on screen for you guys. And we're going to get this kill started. Didn't bring a spec weapon this time, so we're going to just have to stab it with the rune longsword. It is better on stab, so I'm going to change that real quick before I forget. And start this kill up. So this one's going to be a little bit of a doozy. Definitely going to take a lot longer, but I'll see you guys at the end. Alright, we're getting down to the end here. About to kill Vorkath with very scuffed gear. There we go, there's the kill. I actually screwed up a couple of the mechanics here, but we still ended up getting the kill. That was a really long kill at 6 minutes and 42 seconds, so definitely longer than what the average time to kill suggested. But we got it done. I mean, there's definitely room for improvement. I took a little bit of damage from the acid phase, and the zombified spawn even hit me at one point because I ate right as it sent it off. So not the prettiest kill, not the quickest kill, but you see, even with really bad gear, you can definitely still get the kill. It's just going to take you a lot longer. So our next gear slot is kind of weird because we're getting to the point now where our DPS and armor, we can't downgrade both. We can't sit here with no armor and like a bronze dagger and just stab it to death. So we have to at least keep one of them high. So I can put on like full oath plate and just punch it to death. I've done it before. Or I could wear like no armor and put like a fang on and stab it to death. But to do both gets really, really tedious. So I'm going to see how far I can push the envelope and still come out on top. But we're definitely kind of falling into that area where it gets a lot tougher, and we're pushing the limits of just how bare bones you can kill this boss. So let me downgrade my gear, and you guys will see what I come up with. I know. We've already used the dragon sword, but I did a little bit of testing. I even tried to kill with worse gear than what we had last kill, and if you downgrade your gear where you don't have much protection and you downgrade your DPS, you just hit a point where it's not feasible. And that's kind of what I was hitting when I tried doing it with worse gear than this. You can sit there and attempt to do it, but without any DPS and without any armor, you're just going to get rocked, and it's just going to take too long, even if you can dodge mechanics. This isn't a 0 damage fight, and doing it with worse gear just didn't seem possible after a while. So I was gonna kill it with an Osmumten's Fang because the Fang is just really good here and it's 20 mil. But then I thought we can go more bare bones than that and still get the kill. So I elected to use just the Dragon Sword. It's a really cheap weapon and it's actually really good here. You can get a kill with just a Dragon Sword. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be the most fun, but it's definitely possible. So if we look at my price check, technically with all of the food and pots, I have a 267k budget. But if we take off the Dragon Sword and, oh, excuse me, if we take off the Dragon Sword, wow, and price check it, it's 108k. So if you can get up 108k, maybe a little bit more with all your food and your potions, you definitely can get a kill at Vorkath. So let's take a look at the DPS compared to what we had last time, and I'll show you guys just what I'm talking about. So last time we had a max hit of 34. The max hit with just a Dragon Sword is going to be 30. So not that much worse, to be honest. Our DPS is actually a little bit higher than our last setup. It's a 3.05 compared to a 2.98. So the DPS has actually gone up. And the time to kill actually went down as well. So it was 2 minutes, or excuse me, 255 seconds versus now we have 248 seconds. So the main issue here is obviously we don't have any armor. So I was electing to kind of go the route of very, very cheap setup. Obviously, we just have a Dragon Sword to take down Vorkath, but I want to show you guys that with just a little bit of DPS, you don't need a ton of gear. You don't need a ton of fancy weapons or armor or a spec weapon even. You can just drop 108k on a Dragon Sword if you're a main, go kill Vorkath, and maybe get a little bit of loot. So I'm going to start this kill up. It is going to be rough because I'm going to be taking a lot of damage since I have no armor, but I'm confident I can get this kill. So I'm going to start it up right now, and I'll fast forward it for you guys to watch while I finish it off. I don't know if this has a spec or not. It does have some sort of spec. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'll see you guys in a second. That damage is gonna be a, wow, that damage is gonna be a problem. Coming down to the end of this kill, and it's literally down to the wire. I definitely could die from a few range attacks and a melee attack, but he's down to 50 HP, and this is unironically my first attempt, so I really didn't think this was possible after taking a couple hits when I first started this kill, but it's definitely possible, and we're right there. We just have to finish him off, so hopefully these range attacks and melee attacks don't hit me, and I just hit. Alright, there's an 18. Okay, finish him, finish him. Yes! There it is. I really didn't think this was going to be possible when I first got into it. And the kill time actually isn't even that bad. 6 minutes and 38 seconds. Oh my god. Vorkath killed with just a Dragon Sword, guys. Just a Dragon Sword, okay? Oh my god. I really didn't expect to kill him there. He hit me for like back-to-back 25s with like ranged attacks, and like he was really screwing me up with the melee attacks off the rip. But you see, it took all of our food and 2.5 prayer pots, but we killed him with a Dragon Sword. Oh my god, I didn't expect to like just be able to do that easily. Oh my god, that was way more intense than the punching method. If you didn't know, there's a combat achievement for Vorkath where you have to punch him to death. So real quick, I'm just gonna pull that up because I've done it. Kill Vorkath with only your fists. But your DPS when you kill him with only your fists is really good because you have like Bandos or Oathplate and your defense is fine. So you can just sit there and punch him to death. It takes like close to 20 minutes. Um, but this was way more challenging and fun in my opinion because the kill really wasn't that long. But with not having any armor, it makes it really intense because you don't know if you're gonna have enough food. So, um, that was really fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was really intense. I didn't expect to get the kill. But that's Vorkath killed with just a dragon sword. 108k dragon sword. You see, we have literally 390k left, and the dragon sword is only 108k. So you definitely can kill Vorkath with really good budget gear. You just need like rune to dragon equipment, and you can get the kill. So. Alright guys, I am going to call it there for episode 2. I hope you really enjoyed. I know I did. It was pretty fun, and we killed Vorkath with just a dragon sword, which is a lot further than I expected. It's a lot more bare bones than I expected. And if there's one thing I've been kind of noticing between last episode and this episode is you can definitely downgrade your gear and kill things with a lot more minimal gear than you kind of expect, and that you see or come to expect online. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave me a comment saying what boss I should do next or any other general feedback or constructive criticism you guys have. I'd love to talk to you. So until then, I'll see you on episode 3. Later. The storm is over, not because we silenced it with overwhelming force, but because we faced it head on with only the will to endure. A single, often overlooked draconic blade and nothing else. A relic, outclassed, forgotten. And yet, it was enough. This was never just a fight, it was a chance to prove something. A reminder that true mastery doesn't wear the best gear. It walks into ruin and writes its name in the ashes. The storm raged, but I did not stumble, and from within the frost I emerged, untouched. I didn't just survive the storm, I shattered the frost that bounds its fury.